Welcome back to What Arty Noobs. This is the SU-14-2. It's the Tier 8 Soviet SPG located on the northeast corner of Arctic region. It's under the command of MCHammereD of U-WOT. And yes, he's got the big gun, the B4 howitzer, 203mm, capable of 900 alpha, and penetrating through 52mm. That's good. It's 52mm, yes, I've got it right. 10.4 meters burst radius as well, and between 12.5 and 28 seconds of stun. Okay, now this is the Arty that was actually built from the SU-14-1 after it was modified. They actually put a structure around it to protect the crew and a radio station as well. But it's basically very similar to the original SU-14-1 in many ways. Okay, ready to fire. And the first enemy's turned up. It's 56 TP. It's a tier 8 game with only tier 8 tanks in it. And that 56 TP is ducked into cover. He probably did that very wisely, because he understood that if he did stay out in the open, he'd probably get hit. Now that EBR 75 FL10 is also likely to get hit. Rounds out. Well, it knocked the tree down. Now you don't get a whole lot of ammunition with this Arty. It only carries 16 rounds in total. So you have to be careful you don't blow all of your ammunition on a few targets which are blind hits or whatever. And oh, he knocked the tree down there, and another one. Yes, maybe that's to lead the enemy to think that he's actually in the woods when he's outside them. Okay, going for E75TS. It's a German premium. And that was a direct hit. Right on target. Now we'll have to wait to see how much damage that did, because he went unspotted just at the moment the shell arrived. And we can see the EBI is also missing some hit points, so he might have actually been hit by that blind hit. We just don't know. In fact, I think he was probably splashed by that blind hit, more than likely. Now the Arctic region map is, of course, the map for the Winter War, the war against Finland. Started 1939, carried on through 1940, and then there was a continuation war afterwards when Germany invaded the Soviet Union in 1941. Now this Arty is designed, as I said, from the SU-14-1, but that was actually designed from a heavy tank, the T-35, a very big and very heavy tank, which, well, it weighed a lot, over 66 tons, this Arty, and that's with the howitzer. Of course, the T-35 was a multiple turret heavy tank, but it wasn't very successful. Okay, well, he was dialing in on that position, but the E75 pulled back, but we do have a target now. A Scorpion G up on top of the hill. He's just waiting until it's fully dialed in, and the round is out. And notice how quickly that Scorpion pulled back after the round was in the air. Now he's got two platoon mates in this game. We've got the Ferdinand, and we've also got an AMBT. I think they were both dynamic platoons, so I don't think he knows them. They're certainly not from the same clan. Okay, he's just waiting. The standard reload is 42.7 seconds, and he's got a reload 33.75, so he has knocked 9 seconds off. But unfortunately, that shell wasn't quite as accurate as MCHammereD wanted, but he'll keep going. It's Bisonte there sitting on the corner. Now he's going to have to stay on that corner to avoid getting hit by shells coming from our tanks, which are very close by. So if he puts a round in there, he's possibly going to pick up some stun assist. That will make a very nice little target. Another tank coming out of the gully. Okay, we can't see that tank there, but he is there, the Bisonte. And now we've got the 122 TM, and he just killed our Type 59. Rounds out. Long flight time. Oh, he just killed the 122 with a blind hit. The 122 was right underneath that shell, but he didn't take a direct hit. It appeared that it actually landed on him on the corner. And now, MCHammereD's got a chance to get another kill because the Bisonte is sitting there with just 9 hit points left after all the action that he's been in. In fact, he might get killed if we can't get a shot in there in the next few seconds. Okay. Rounds out. This could be a kill. It is. Direct hit on the engine bay. And the Lurva is... Well, he's not cheated out of the kill because we spotted him before the Lurva did. And I think MCHammereD rightly claims that kill. I mean, he didn't get any damage on the guy beforehand, but by taking him out the way, gives the Lurva free movement, and he can now start advancing towards the enemy cap area. There are a few people up on that hill. That Scorpion, for instance, that's still up there. And over here we got a U-WOT who's been driving around quite freely. U-WOT 14-5. It's a TVP and a T-34-2 on that area of the map. Oh, and that didn't work out so well. The TVP just killed our GeForce 1008. Rounds out on the TVP. Well, we did see some trees go down just as the guy was moving about. And I think our Lynx is now moving in with a Panther 2 to find out where the other tanks in that corner are. And there's the U-WOT. He's just taking fire. So we could hit this T-34-2 when we reload, but we've only got 6 rounds left of this type, 2 rounds of the extra HE without stun. In fact, we can see the TVP. He's just across the way, but sitting behind the rock. And that makes him a very good target, because if we can get the shell past the rock, he's going to be, well, oh, unfortunately we didn't. But I was going to say it would actually be quite easy then to get a shell to hit on target. We just knocked another tree down. The enemy Arty hasn't been trying counter battery. He is a GW Tiger P, and there's a possibility he is actually a novice Arty player, or at least not a practiced Arty player. Of course, MCHammereD is a very, very well practiced Arty player. Does have Mark of Excellence on the barrel. And oh, he's going for another kill. In fact, he could get 2 here because U-WOT 14-5 is very low on hit points. And he's left it a bit late to get a shot in that direction. Fires late. That might hit the TVP, but the U-WOT was very low on hit points. And I felt that if he'd actually fired a bit sooner, he might have got that U-WOT just as he was passing through, and also hit the TVP at the same time. Now, as we've moved up a long way over here, MCHammereD is getting closer to the enemy. Get a better reaction time, get a better angle on the enemy. You can see that EBR 75FL10, the guy who's causing problems in the gully. Now, is he going to put a round in there? I'd do it. Rounds out. And he gets another kill! 3 kills snap from MCHammereD. So it was worthwhile. Just as that shot on the U-WOT would have been worthwhile. In fact, he's still alive. And with this Arty, we can hit him. He's over the other side of the map. He's going for the TVP at the moment. The TVP is also a splash kill. If we can land the round, it would have to be fairly close to the TVP. But the U-WOT 14-5 is a splash kill. So if we just have to put the round close to him, and he will go out of the game. He was so low on hit points when he passed the TVP, I thought he might actually get both together at the same time if he actually got a direct hit on the TVP, but unfortunately we weren't that lucky. Okay, he can see that the G-Saw is just behind the rock, fires around in, and unfortunately looks away, which unfortunately doesn't give us a clue as to whether he hit or not. That's the reason you sometimes, or keep looking to see what happens to the shell. You want to see if it actually does connect with something we see no explosion, because that will tell you you have got some damage on that tank. The scores are still even. But you can see from the fact that we're still moving towards the enemy means that we're expecting that we are going to win this one. Well, yeah, not the way to do it. He did lose a fair amount of hit points there. 106. Was a bit of a slapdash way of getting down. I was hoping he didn't do any damage at all, because that could have been quite nasty if he'd actually suffered severe damage, and then that led to either being killed there on the spot, or even worse, that as a consequence, an enemy tank gets an easy kill later on during the game, because of course he can see that MCHammereD has lowered his hit points enough to make him a kill. He's trying to get a better angle so he can shoot towards the hill. Of course, the enemy can't really see him at the moment, but he can probably see the enemy. The Progettos move north to try and stop the T-34-2 and the TVP going for our cap area. Because, of course, the rest of our team know that we've actually abandoned that area. And they found the G-Saw. Oh, he's fired in that direction. Unfortunately, the UDAS is actually, and the G-Saw, was it the I think it was the UDAS, not the G-Saw. But the UDAS has just suddenly turned up in the gully. And now the G-Saw is coming in.
Moving to support you.
And unfortunately, it would have been really good if we'd had the shell at the time. We've only got 3 shells left now. And our Lynx has just killed the UDAS. The guy was really short on hit points. So he's gone. The GW Tiger's just been spotted. And that's a 380 hit point hit on the G-Saw, and he goes down immediately afterwards. So yes, dropping the hit points to an enemy suddenly does make it viable as a kill. Unfortunately, TVP's just taken out our Lynx as well. So we're only 1 tank up on the enemy. Okay, 2 shells left, both of them non-stun. You can see the T-34-2 coming around the corner. We're fully dialed in at the moment. He's trying to get a bit closer. But if he goes up this slope, he might get spotted by the enemy at long range. Especially that T-34-2 if he goes up the slope. And he hasn't gone up onto the slope, so he's not on the duck. And that's why, just for a moment, MCHammereD hesitated about going up there. There's the TVP coming into sight. Can he get a shot in? Go for it. Well, he lines it up and fires, but he actually lined it up on the actual position of the T-34-100 instead of the position the guy was going to go through. That's how you try and anticipate where the enemy's headed, so you can actually plant the shell where they're going, and so they meet the shell at the aim point. Okay, TVP is chasing our T-34. We're still reloading. 1 round left. Well, the Progettos just killed the enemy TVP, which means there's only 2 left now, the GW Tiger P and the T-34-2, and we've heard the 2-minute warning. That T-34 is chasing our T-44-100 up the gully. He's trying to get at him. Well, they're both one-shots, and the T-54 is sitting above, trying to get shots.
Moving in to support you.
Unfortunately, the Progetto just fell off the cliff and died in the process. Oh dear, what a calamitous thing to do. MCHammereD is trying to get closer to these guys so he can get a shot in there, but it's not very easy to get a shell in there. But now the enemy has died. The T-34-2 is gone. The last enemy is the GW Tiger P, and we've got 1 minute left on this game. So hopefully the T-44-100 will get a move on and head in this direction towards the enemy cap. He's marking on the minimap where he thinks he is. And if the TVP, the T-44-100 can indicate to us where the enemy is, we can get a shell in there to do some damage, and that might make the kill easier. He's still driving on the move. That's why the reticule is shaking so much. He's aiming whilst he's driving. He'll stop as soon as the enemy is spotted. He thinks he's over here. I think that might be right. Yes, there he is. He stopped. Lines up the shot. Grabs out. Oh, he got him! He got the last kill and the last shell in his infantry. That is the game. Here's the end of battle results, and that was a second-class tanker to MCHammereD of what you want in the SU-14-2. He managed to get a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. In fact, he got 7. He got a fighter badge for getting at least 4 kills. He got 4 exactly in that game. And on top of that, he got a Faden's medal. And yes, he killed the last enemy tank with the last shell in his magazine to win the game. Well done indeed, MCHammereD. These medals do come as quite a surprise most times, especially if you're in an Arty and you get one, because normally you're not watching the shells and which ones you're focusing and concentrating on what the enemy is doing to try and anticipate what they're going to do next and get that shell to meet the enemy tank when you work out where they're going. Well, what a game that was. Let's have a look at team score. The highest damage in the game turned out to be the T-34-2 on the enemy team with 3,120 hit points. He didn't get a high caliber because it wasn't 20% of the enemy hit pool. Second highest damage turned out to be the Progetto on his own team, and that's the Progetto 54. The guy who actually says here destroyed by himself. Yes, he fell off the cliff. He actually, unfortunately, went straight to the edge, peeking over, trying to spot where the enemy TVP was. And he just went too far, leaned over the edge, and fell off, and then crashed to his doom down below. So that was an unfortunate one. And the third highest damage in the game actually went to the GW Tiger P on the enemy team with 2,504 hit points. We can see that in this game, MCHammereD got 2,099. Now, he was beaten by only 2 members of the enemy team and 1 member of his own team, which puts him in 4th place on damage. But when it came to kills, he was top because he had 4 kills. 3 kills went to the T-34-2, 2 kills went to the Type 59, the Panhard Lynx, the Progetto, the 54. Is that the 54? Yes, it is the 54 again. Yes, that guy again. And also to the ISU-152K, the UDIS 14-5, and the TVP on the enemy team. And when it came to base XP, it was the Type 59 that did the best. 966 to him, 888 to the Progetto, and 825 went to MCHammereD in 3rd place. So he got 4th on damage, tops on kills, and 3rd on XP. He fired all 16 rounds in that ammunition in that game. It's a pity this Arty only carries 16 rounds. To be honest, I would have thought they would have carried a lot more than just 16, but that's the way the game's been played. 6 direct hits on the enemy, 1 penetrating shot, and 11 splash. Now, will it tell us who he actually got the hit on? Well, it was actually the Bisonte. The shell that actually landed on the engine deck was a penetrating shot that went right through his engine deck and blew him to pieces and gave him a nice little kill there. So, yes, well done. He also got 2,099 hit points, all of it at more than 300 meters, damaged 7 of the enemy, killed 4, and did 183 hit points of stun assist off 8 stuns. On a premium count, he actually earned a profit of 7,943 credits from the game, and he also took away 3,714 experience points, but I guess the best thing he got out of that one was the Faden's medal, because they are difficult to get. They're rare, because of course most players, if they're playing in a tank, have plenty of ammunition to last the entire game. Arty, it's a little tighter. You do have less shells in an Arty, and so there's much more chance that you are going to run out of ammo towards the end of the game. And sometimes it can be a huge surprise when all of a sudden you see in the end results that, yes, you did use up all of your ammo, and that was the last shot, the one that killed the last enemy tank. So it's happened a few times to me, and it was a surprise to find that out. So well done to MCHammereD. Always nice to win a game by Arty and get a Faden's out of it as well. If you enjoyed that replay, please give this video a like, do subscribe to our channel, leave a little comment down below because it feeds the algorithm, and thank you for watching.